Hey, have you ever been to a really interesting restaurant? Well, I know I have. I went to a place called the Minturn Country Club Steakhouse in Colorado. And it's a wonderful place to go because you might think, oh, it's really good. You get to see all this great land, and there's golf courses, and there's tennis courts, and the whole 9 yards. But none of that is there. The cool thing about the restaurant is you have to wait a long time to get in because you're having a new experience of going in, because you walk into this restaurant and it's just a little hole in the wall on the side of a mountain in Colorado, and you walk in and all of a sudden you see these big racks of raw meat, of steaks and other things to go forward, and you have to make a quick decision about what you want, and then you buy it, and then they give you they put it on a plate, and then you have to walk in and you find a place to sit down. Then spread all throughout the restaurant are lava grills, and you get to cook your own steak the way you want it there. That's a pretty unique way to eat. Now, some people want to approach dating the same way, in that they look at all the choices that they have out there, and they think they have to make a quick decision about what they want before they dive into a relationship. Now, we're going to look at this part of dating this week, because I think it's very hard to know what you want in a relationship when you don't know what you want in a relationship. Now, last week we talked about breaking up, and you dove a little bit of that into our talk and into your life group. But now we're going to talk about really detailed what you want in a relationship. Now, pardon me when I go on my love rant again, because remember we talked about this last week, and that in the English language there's only one word for love. So the same word that I say I love my wife is the same word that I get to use for I love Sour Patch Kids. So we don't get to pay the word that much justice. But the words we're going to talk about in the New Testament are something totally different. Last week I hinted on this about the different flavors of love words, but I'm going to look at these really closer. Now, there's 3 words for love in the New Testament. The first one is kind of like love between friends. And the second word is like passionate romantic love. But the one we're going to focus on is the same one that we focused on last week. It's in all the verses we're going to get into later on. It's the love that means doing the right thing for the right reason at the right time. We're going to hone in on this today as we're starting to look into what exactly we want in a relationship. Now, as we get into this, let me give you a couple of things to consider of what you would like in a relationship. Now, some of these we've talked about before, and some will be new things for you. Now, first of all, let's pray. Because talking to God is a great way to think about what you want in a relationship. Weigh the ins and the outs of relationships you've seen before, or maybe even relationships you've been in before, to know what you want and possibly what you don't want in a relationship. Secondly, talk to an older trusted person. Maybe your parent, your guardian, an older sibling, or your small group leader about relationships that they've been in, or perhaps what you want in your relationship. Nextly, here's some other options to consider as you're thinking about getting into a relationship with someone. Consider this. Do you want a committed relationship or a conditional relationship? Do you want someone that's in a relationship for you, to be with you and to hang out with you and possibly to love you? Or do you want someone that in a relationship of what you can do for them? Do you want to be in a giving relationship or a self-centered relationship? Will your relationship be an us, or will it be a you and a me that occasionally hang out together relationship? Do you want to be in a relationship that builds up or a relationship that criticizes each other? How is conflict and the use of words going to play a part in who you are in that relationship and how it develops that way? And lastly, what part does forgiveness and remembering wrongs play a part in your relationship? Because friction is going to come in any committed relationship that you have. And sometimes feelings are going to get hurt. And are you going to build a relationship on remembering what's done wrong and keeping score, or forgiving and move forward in a relationship? Now, I got in a relationship with my wife because I figured one of the things that I wanted in a relationship was to have a really, really good friend. And my wife is possibly the best friend you will ever meet on the planet. Kim is my best friend, and she's best friends to a lot of people. And the way she connects with friendship just is amazing. And my thing is, I hope you can find someone like that, because it's a great attribute to a relationship. Now, another thing you're asking yourself, in a talk like this, don't we need to talk about the Bible? What does the Bible say about what type of person to be in a relationship with? Now, there's not a way for me to point you to a book, a chapter, and a verse to tell you this is who you need to be in a relationship with. I can, however, point you to the words of Peter and Paul, who have some lists of qualities of great things to have in your relationship. Now, the first one I want to point you to is 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. And this verse goes like this. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Now think about you're in a relationship with someone and they have all these attributes, or even some of them. Listen to these again. Patient, kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not proud, honors all, is not self-seeking, is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs, loves truth, protects, hopes, trusts, and perseveres. Now listen to the words from Peter, because he ties on other things to this also. And this is 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mutual affection, and to mutual affection love. Faith, goodness, knowledge, self-control, godliness, and love. Think about having those in a relationship in a person that you want to be in a relationship with. And lastly, we're going to talk about some words that Paul wrote to the church at Galatia in Galatians 5, 22 to 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, and self-control. Now hear those words and think about someone that might have these kind of attributes in a relationship for you. And the words were love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Remember, it's very hard to find what you're looking for in a relationship when you don't know what you're looking for in a relationship. Now, so after hearing all this, what do you want in a relationship with another person? You might even be thinking now, hey, I don't want a relationship right now. I've never been in one, I don't want to be in one right now. Or I'm coming out of a relationship and I don't want to be in another one right now. But think of those attributes that you might have. Think of something you've heard here, maybe in the Bible verses, or maybe something you've heard in prayer from God, or maybe something you've heard talking to another person, or maybe in the discussions we've had over the last couple of weeks in your life group about here's something that I want in a relationship. Or maybe it's something entirely different about I want somebody that is really like Star Wars, or can dance really well, or is a really, really good listener. Now, whatever you hear about those, I want you to do something for me right now. Think of your top 3 things that you want in a person to be in a relationship with, and kind of mark them in your brain, or maybe even write them down. And then take some time over the next week, or maybe over the next time you get together with your life group, and say, here's the 3 things that I think are important to a relationship and why they are. Maybe even talk to your life group leader or someone else about your trusted adult about that. And my prayer for you is those 3 things are the things that you could get as part of your relationship, and I hope your relationship grows to be exactly to what you and God want it to be. And it leads on to something awesome for you. Have a great rest of your day.